This is the LEGO Bricklink Ominous Isle, a fan-designed beauty that's spooky enough to shiver any timbers. Designed by Jared Lacroix. Lacroix? Jared has designed this set. This set's made up of 2,809 parts and comes with 17 numbered bags. There's 5 minifigures, which is criminally low, 2 birds, and a monkey. According to the Bricklink site, Ominous Isle is the dreaded base of operations for the fearsome Captain Mutton Chops. The story elements in this set stand out as a strong suit and makes this such a heavy contender for the best pirate LEGO set ever made. You heard me right, ever made. The build process. Saying how long it took me to build this set is moot because it's going to be so different for everybody. I will say that it took me about from the beginning of the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie to the end of the third movie. And you can do the math, but I was very, very distracted by the plot. The plot. The set was fragile as I built it, which sounds kind of weird to say, but there's some tricky parts of the set where extra care is really needed to make sure you don't make the whole thing fall apart as you push certain pieces down or in. The first con of the set. There are no paper instructions. Unfortunately, you have to have digital only instructions. Personally, I'm not a fan of digital instructions. I don't want to have a device open and on next to me when I'm building. I want to just completely unplug, focus on the LEGO, and move on. But I'm not going to take any points away from the designer because that's just Bricklink. That's just how it works. You don't get paper instructions with these sets. After it's all built, gosh dang, it is epic. And more importantly, it's fun. It's modular, so you can move things around and rearrange the islands to fit the space that you have, or you can just kind of move it around to kind of fit your fancies, see what you like the most. Let's look at the individual islands, starting with this beauty. It is a masterpiece. This is the most complex piece of LEGO I've ever assembled, and it's just perfect. There's probably about 10,000 pieces from this set in this small island, believe it or not. It's small, and that's about it. Next is the second small island, which is a simple palm tree build. Not too much to say here. The tree build is nice enough. If I could trade probably these 2 small builds for a couple more minifigures, I would in a heartbeat. They're nice and they do add a certain diversity to the build, but personally I would have preferred a few more minifigures than these accent islands. The island that you're likely to start at on your pirate journey is this one here. There's a dock that fits the small boat that comes with the set. The path after the dock here is small because from the dock you go up this little bit here and there's a spot where a bridge is meant to go. You build the bridges later on in the set. Once you go through more of the set, cross more bridges, you'll be brought back over here to the cannon, which looks like it's sitting on this derelict remains of a fortress. Next to the cannon, we get some lovely fern pieces. Ferns, you know how I feel about those ferns. They get me wild. But below this area, we have a Skellimon trapped in a cage. He's certainly seen some better days. This Skellimon I've elected to call Mr. Bones, because if you're a fan of Disney parks, you can spin his cage around and take this fella on Mr. Bones' wild ride. The next biggest island is this little fella here. Just a rock cluster and an anchor attached, nothing too crazy. Almost as if a ship crashed over here somewhere. This whole set gives off Barracuda Bay vibes mixed with Shipwreck Cove from At-World's End, especially where small bits of ship appear, like with this anchor here. This island introduces our second hint that there's a path throughout the build. These nougat colored paths are spread throughout the whole island cluster, and it gives this entire set a journey feel. Okay, not that journey. Almost as if the pirates are here to run through the island, face the dangers along the way, and continue on their adventure. Connecting the paths from island to island are the bridges seen here. These bridges are mostly just brown elements strung together with brown wieners. This set contains so many brown wieners. I was practically drowning in brown wieners.
Hey, yo!
The bridge builds are relatively simple and can be swapped amongst all other islands. There's long bridges, small bridges, tough bridges, and bridges that utilize joints to give a suspension effect. They do look good, and the modular ability, is that a word? You know what, doesn't matter. The modular ability of this set hikes up the play that can happen here and is built into the story of Ominous Isle by the designer. According to the designer, Jared, the Isle's real surprise is that it never appears the same way twice. The surrounding islets seem to constantly rearrange themselves, linked by numerous bridges and crossings. This makes it nearly impossible to accurately describe Mutton Chop's hideout because every witness has seen a different version. That's a really fun way to go about it. Using story to justify or explain the look of a set, I think is pretty witty. The next island starts to add more story elements, so we are getting into spicy territory. There's the hint of a dead creature with this skull sticking out of the island here at the bottom. This creature is unnamed, so I will call her Skellington.
It would be a feature. A creature feature.
Right around the corner from Skellington is an empty cave. Or is it empty? It's not empty. There's a chest. But the treasure in here isn't super accessible unless you take apart this rock piece here, which is perfectly fine. You just kind of have to break the set a little bit. Now, I'm not going to tell you what's in the chest to avoid spoilers. Okay, you've convinced me. This is what's in the chest. It's Bofa D's Nuts Funny Banana Nut Bread and Hazelnut Vanilla Scented Candle Double Pour 6 ounce 40-hour burn time produced by the candle company called Candle Daddy. Yarg. Further up on the island, there's lots of greenery and lovely rock work. You can also see the continuation of the nougat-colored path. The weenie of this particular set, yes, I said weenie, because in the world of themed design, the tall landmark that acts as a wayfinder and icon is called a weenie. The weenie of this particular island is the crow's nest, very clearly from a shipwreck. Very piratey, very nice. It's overall just a really well put together island, and it has a great shape to it. There's even a seagull's nest. Now you can tell that this is a seagull because this set is designed to be by the sea. Had it been by the bay, this bird would be a bagel. I'm not sorry, you're still here of your own volition. You could leave at any moment. Please don't leave. Take a journey across the bridge to the next island, which just so happens to be the big chungus of the whole set, the Big Mama. This island here is clearly trying to scare you away with its rocky skull face poking out and the ominous look to it all. Perhaps that's why the set is called Ominous Isle. Along the exterior, there's beautiful rockwork and an excessive amount of plants used, which you will never hear me complain about. Too many LEGO sets are vanilla and pure and too clean, and this one erases the rulebook and says, I'm old and overgrown, and I'm not afraid to show it. For that, I appreciate this set even more. Along the top of this main structure, there's a tower that pokes above any other part of the set. It's the weenie of this section and really stands out well. I like that it's not symmetrical to the rest of the island. It makes it seem less manufactured and more a spur-of-the-moment kind of build. One fun feature of this tower is the safety railings all the way around. I like that this implies there was a pirate who looked at these stairs after murdering, pillaging, and plundering and thought, you know what guys, this is a safety hazard. We really need to install safety railings. I also like how the path here has a natural progression and looks overgrown all the way around. The assorted palm and plant pieces make this look even more natural. The rock work all the way around this build is very well done and very sturdy. I especially like the secret entrance here as well as the balcony above it. It's rugged and looks like something created by nature, if that makes sense. It has an open back dollhouse style, which I don't personally mind because the rest of the set is so 360-degree camera friendly. Even though it's open in the back, what's back there is so well done to the point that even a fully enclosed purist would find it kind of hard to complain. Can you tell I like this set yet? On the bottom right side, there's what I can only describe as a resource lounge. Not a kitchen, not quite a storage place, but a place to refuel and get some more zesty drink. And in the case of pirates, that zesty drink is rum. Lower the drawbridge and walk across to the secret layer that holds the treasures worth more than Cloud City Boba Fett. If I absolutely had to nitpick this set, these areas down here aren't very easily accessible or offer much space to get fingers in there to pose minifigures. Up above, there's a captain's lounge with a desk and a bookshelf, as well as a grand-looking chair. Some place for the captain to rest his booty. Get it? Because pirates? No? Okay. This knob here can be turned to raise and lower the main gate in the skull's mouth. The boat does fit through the mouth, so by raising the gate, you can give access to these pirates. That about covers the set's details. Let's take a look at the minifigures. There's 5 of them to take in. The 5 minifigures don't offer unique printing at all, and only one of them is named, which is this one here named Captain Mutton Chops, as named by the designer, Jared. There's also 1 skeleton and 2 seagulls and a monkey that are included here. This is how it is with the Bricklink designer program. If you want any sort of unique design of a print here, they would have needed to come from stickers because as with all Bricklink designer program sets, all pieces and elements must come from the existing LEGO parts catalog. There's no possible way for Bricklink designer sets to introduce new pieces or new prints. They have to be stickers if it's going to be something new that we've never seen before that's not already included in the LEGO parts catalog. I'm definitely not going to knock the set for not including a unique figure print because that's out of their control, and really, it doesn't matter much. The set itself is what shines so bright, so really the figures are just kind of croutons on the salad. I purchased this set for the original listing price of 240 doubloons for 2,800 parts and overall volume of stuff. I'd say that's a pretty good deal in this day and age. The problem, if you want to purchase it right now, is you'll need to fork over aftermarket prices. Prices for this set range anywhere between 260 to 300 doubloons as of the recording of this video. If you really want this set and you have the cash, now is the time to strike, and here's why. Bricklink sets sell for an original MSRP of whatever LEGO puts them at. They go through crowdfunding, sell out sometimes, and then there's a waiting period of about 6 months before they can ship. During this waiting time, the mere promise of a set order can go for 2 times the original listed price because people are panicking and they missed out on the deal of a lifetime. Do not fall for this. So then the sets will ship out and prices are still going to either be double or slightly less than double the original listed price. Don't fall for this either. After about 3 to 4 months from the moment the sets were shipped, the Bricklink sets will sell for 10 to 15% more than retail. If you did not get the original price and the original wave, this is the time to strike. 3 to 4 months after they've been shipped. About a year on the aftermarket is past the point of no return, meaning you'll be paying way too much for the set. I'm very fortunate and I grabbed this one before they sold out, but I think anything under 280 doubloons feels more than fair for this. You get quite a bit of stuff here which helps it to really make it feel larger in scale and that you're getting more value for your money. Speaking of scale, the box art here is doing this set a huge disservice. The set in person is so much larger and it offers so much more than what the box art suggests. The plain white background doesn't do it any favors, but that's out of the designer's hands, so definitely no points taken for that. By now, you should have a pretty good idea of how I feel towards the set. I love it. I would not have bought it if I didn't think I'd love it. I'll never be reviewing a set that I purchased with my own doubloons and saying, I hate it. Unless there's some surprise major flaw. I like the look of this set, I bought it, and here we are. At times during the build process, it did feel a little bit fragile, but it's geared towards adults, so that's kind of part of the agreement. More challenge and pieces for the price. So is it the best LEGO Pirates set we've ever gotten? Maybe. I think it's number 2 at least. Number 1, in my opinion, being Barracuda Bay. But this matches the look and feel of that set really, really well. I think it helps that the color scheme is somewhat similar. My final thoughts on this build, and I'm going to leave you with this. It may be controversial and I'm probably going to get some flack for it, but I really do feel that Thanks for watching and thank you for the support. I'll see you next set. Bye-bye.